Hey everyone, Jeff here. Today we're going to be testing out traction control. I'm going to show you what that traction control button does with the help of my friend Jackson, who's an off-roading expert. We're going to show you why you would turn that traction control button on your car, truck, or SUV off, and why you would definitely want to keep it on. And we're testing it out with a 2023 4Runner TRD Pro in Solar Octane. Jackson, thanks for helping out with the video. Appreciate it. All right, and traction control button, can you explain to everybody, number one, where you would find it in your car, truck, or SUV, and then maybe we could talk about why that button's even there.
Sure, so in the 4Runner, that button is right up here. So this is the track off button.
Okay.
In later models like Tundras and Sequoias, you might find that down here in the center console. Could also be here on your left side, depending on what vehicle you're working with.
Okay, that's cool. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a tough truck or SUV. It could just be a regular passenger car, right?
It could, yep.
Okay, great. And why is that traction control button there? Like, what is traction control anyway?
So traction control kind of uses the ABS system in reverse. So with ABS, we're trying to control a skid, and with traction control, we're trying to control a wheel spin. So it's kind of the opposite. And it's there because if anybody's ever been stuck in the snow, you press the gas, one wheel turns, the other wheel does nothing. So if we can use the analog brake system to kind of help control that wheel spin, we kind of almost get the effect of like a differential locker, but not quite.
Okay, and what is our first demonstration going to be, Jackson?
All right, so we're going to turn track off, or traction control off.
Okay.
And we're going to desensitize it as much as we can. So one click desensitizes it a little bit. If I press and hold that for more than 3 seconds, it shuts off not only traction control, but vehicle stability control.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So you can narrate, Jackson, from there as I show what's going on with our friend 4Runner.
All right, so if we get a little bit stuck, so you can see like we weren't making very good progress, so we were tearing the trail up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now if we go and turn traction control back on, we can kind of see how effective that is.
Oh, what a difference.
So you can see how much control you have with it versus, you know, spinning tires and throwing gravel and whatnot.
And Jackson, when people drive in normal everyday situations, they would want to have the traction control button on. Is that correct? Not off?
Yeah, that's correct. And the reason why is, like we saw here, the traction control is kind of like our silent partner. When you lose traction, it kicks in automatically and solves this problem here. The other thing that turning the traction control off generally does is it affects the vehicle stability control. So if you're driving in, say, wet conditions or snowy conditions and you lose it in a turn, the vehicle stability control is what corrects the path. And so that's another reason why you wouldn't want to shut it off during normal day-to-day driving conditions.
Okay, and when the traction control button is pushed off, then you would know it because it would be a warning light on the dash saying, hey, something's wrong, yo.
Absolutely, the dash is lit up like a Christmas tree when you have that thing turned off. So
okay, and generally what I've found is if you have a warning light that's in orange or red, that might be reason for saying, hey, why is that on, right?
Exactly. Yep,
okay,
yep.
Now, what are some reasons why you would want to turn that button off? Because most of the time we want to have it on. We don't want to have the warning track off button on or anything like that.
Correct.
I could think of maybe donuts in the snow, but why would you turn that thing off?
That's a great example. So one of the reasons why you'd want to turn it off is if the vehicle, and most vehicles do this, if the vehicle cuts accelerator control, so or your traction control system isn't quite allowing enough wheel spin.
Yeah.
So some conditions that would be useful would be like deep snow or mud or sometimes sand, where you need full control of the accelerator without the vehicle cutting power.
Okay, and what about like if you're stuck in some deeper snow, you would rock the car potentially?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And so during those conditions, you want wheel spin because that's what clears the mud and muck from the tire treads. So in order to deal with those conditions, you really need to be able to clean the tires, and most traction control systems won't allow that to happen.
Okay.
They'll shut down accelerator.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and the other thing I heard is if you go up a steep hill where it's maybe slippery, like wet or a little bit of ice, or maybe not ice, but snow, would that be a time where you would turn it off?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. That one can go either way. And I'll caveat that just because vehicle skid control or stability control, depending on what platform you're in, can help if you start sliding backwards. So in that case, I would play that one by ear.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
All right, great. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, Jackson.
You bet.
We did it.
Heck
Traction
yeah.
control. So hope that helps you, and please follow my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. See you next time. Bye, Jackson.
See ya.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out the suggested playlist and suggested video. They may give you more information about 4Runner. What do those buttons do? Who knows? But thanks for watching. I really appreciate y'all.